Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here with my first ever review of a set of earphones from a company called Vankyo. These are their brand new Alpha X200s True Wireless Series earbuds. They have 7 hours of playtime. They have a 3500 milliamp battery bank in the charging case, which is just insane. So 7 hours of playtime, but also you get up to 120 hours with the extended battery life because of the battery bank. So that's super cool. Now, before I go any further, I do want to say that this video is not sponsored. These were sent out as a review unit. There's no compensation involved, and they're not getting to see this video before you are. So now that we got that out of the way, let's go ahead and take a closer look at these brand new Alpha X200 series earphones by Vankyo. All right, so here we are up close and personal with the Vankyo Alpha X200s. So you can see the Vankyo name, the branding is really good down there in the bottom. And then some of the other information I do like with this green font, how they have the Alpha X200 written out. I think that's pretty cool. And then if you turn it to the side, you can see some of the different functions that they allude to with these little icons here. Now, some of them, I don't even really know what they mean. So I wish they could have drawn that out a little bit better for you to see, but they're multifunction, easy to use, and they do have a nice clear connection. And what's cool, you have 7 hours of playtime and then up to 200 hours of standby time, but a total of 120 hours of playtime if you use the included 3500 milliamp battery that's built into the charging case. So that's something that goes way out of the way, far and above what a lot of other true wireless series earbuds do. Now the box can be a little bit difficult to open there. I did tear the top right corner of mine trying to get it out, so you don't have to worry about these running off anywhere. Now here we are with the actual earbuds themselves. The case is actually really heavy. It's made out of like aluminum or a metal body, and then of course it has this huge 3500 milliamp battery bank in here, so it is heavy. It's supposed to be charged 5 volts 1 amp, so it didn't have any of this typical warning stuff in here, but you should use a slow or low watt charger with it. It does use micro USB. Yeah, I kind of wish it had USB-C, but at 50 bucks, it's kind of seems to be the thing for $50 and below earbuds. And then you can see the presentation is nice. They have this nice kind of glossy, shiny appearance. Also, the lid is magnetic, so it will close and seal. You don't have any problems with that. And the magnets are pretty strong for taking the earbuds out too. So make sure you get a good firm handle on those whenever you take them out. All right, so I don't know if this is by design or not, but mine actually has 4 sets of ear tips. It has the 3 that are in the pouch and then the ones that are already on there, but it is advertised as only having 3, so maybe you'll end up with 4 as well. It also has a super tiny micro USB cable, and then it has a USB to micro USB adapter, which I'm not really sure why they went ahead and included that. It doesn't do reverse wireless charging, so you can't use this as a power bank. I tested that out, so not really sure why that's in there, but it is. So you have that going for you as well. Now, I do like the little LED readout here. Mine was only showing the one for the right. The left one wasn't seated properly when I took it out of the box, but it does give you the individual readout for the battery level. The bar indicator is what tells you what the battery level is at, and then the percentage on there tells you what the overall battery level is for the battery bank. So you get to see both of those, but like it does have, like I said, the 3500 milliamp battery, so you can recharge your earbuds like to infinity and beyond and back with these things. So they'll definitely keep you in business for a really long time. And then here's the customer satisfaction, happy, not happy card that's pretty common with most earbuds. Now, they do work really well for making phone calls. I tested that out. Now, one thing, I'm going to go ahead and allude to this now. I'm going to talk about the volume when we get to the overall sound experience review part of this video, but yeah, so it does work well for phone calls. It's not the loudest in the world. I mean, you can hear adequately, but it does work well. And you can use either earphone independently. It doesn't matter. You can use the right one or the left one for phone calls or for listening to music. Now, here's a little LED indicator on there. These do have touch-sensitive tiles. They don't have buttons. Typically, I'm not a huge fan of them, but these actually work really well. And because they fit so snugly in your ear, they don't move around, they don't jostle, and they don't really feel like they're getting jammed in your ear as you push on them. So that's one nice feature that goes along with them as well. But pretty solid presentation and a nice functional experience for these earbuds. All right, so here we are with the Vankyo Alpha X200s. So with regard to the overall sound experience, it has an okay sound experience, but it's handicapped by one thing, and that's the overall volume. So the volume on these probably gets to about 70% of what I would consider ideal volume. Now, I tested them out. I listened to them on my Pixel 4 XL. I listened to them on my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus, and also my iPhone 11 Pro, because it's good to listen to them with different phones or different devices so you can get a complete feel for what they sound like, because sometimes the sound experience is different. So even turning on Dolby Atmos on my Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Pro, it was still inadequate. So the bass is good. It has a lot of depth, surprisingly, for a set of earphones. Typically, earphones, especially in the $50 range, don't have great depth when it comes to when it comes to bass. The bass, it does carry well and it sounds nice, and the mids are good too. The vocals, even the highs are not too bad. I mean, the overall sound spectrum is not bad at all when it comes to these earphones. It's just that the sound is just too low for me to enjoy them. So they might work out for other people. I'm a little hard on hearing. I like to have my earphones really loud. I've seen reviews on other earphones before that I thought were not so loud that people enjoyed, so they could still be all right. But I did, just to get a secondhand perspective from another person, I let my wife test them out. And normally when it gets to about 60-70% volume on earphones, she has me turn them off or turn it down because it hurts her ears. I started these off on about 50% and worked it up to about 85-90%. And she was still listening to it and then told me that she didn't think they were very loud either. So the sound that is there is good. I do think that they did a good job with that, especially when it comes to the bass. The sound isolation is good. Of course, there's no active noise cancellation, but you do get the sound isolation. It fits really nice in your ear. Let me go ahead and show you here. Um, the way that these are designed, they're tapered and they have kind of a little bit longer stem on them, so they sit really well in your ear canal. And then they kind of occupy this whole space right here, so they don't move around. And that's one thing that's nice about them, because typical true wireless earphones that don't have ear wings or ear stabilizers on them, they don't usually take up the whole area of your ear, so that makes them more prone to falling out. They're less secure, and sometimes the little stems on them are a little bit more shallow. These sit in your ear very well, and probably they're one of the most ideal earphones that I've listened to with as far as comfort and the natural resting position in the ear. I like them a lot, so I will give them 2 thumbs up on the ergonomics department. It's just that the sound experience itself is lacking because of the volume. Now, the microphone works great for phone calls. I did test that out. It also suffers from the volume issue. Again, it's not that you can't hear it, but when you want to listen to a set of earphones, you really want to be able to feel it. You want to be able to hear it and experience it well. I mean, they're not headphones, obviously, but I've listened to so many other earphones, and these are probably the quietest ones that I've listened to out of like the 15-20 pair that I've tested out this year. So I do want to go ahead and throw that out there. But the battery life is great. The 7 hours of battery life, you get like 200 hours of standby time. You get a total of 120 hours of playtime if you talk about using the built-in battery bank, which is 3,500 milliamps. That's basically, like, I have my Pixel 4 XL. It has like a 3,700 milliamp battery. So you're talking huge battery bank in here to keep these things charged and going. So you pretty much never have to top it off. And then the cool little readout that tells you how much power you have in each earbud, plus the overall power level for the battery bank. IPX8 water and sweat resistance, which is probably the best I've seen on any earphones to date. So they did a lot of things really well. A lot of things I like about them. It's just a little disappointing on the volume side. But again, your mileage may vary. They may sound better to you than they do to me, but that's just my experience with all the ones that I've been listening to. And I've really been testing out a lot of earphones lately. So, I mean, they offer a lot. It's really nice, the ability to use them independently. They have a nice, fast connection. You can have both of them in your ear at the same time. You can pop out the right one, put it in the case, and still listen to the left one. Or vice versa, you can take the left one out and listen to the right one. It takes maybe like a second to connect once you take it out of the carrying case. So by the time you put it in your ear, it's basically already getting to the point of connection. So it has a really fast and seamless connection experience, especially for being a lower priced earbud. And that's something I typically expect out of more expensive earphones. So They did a lot of things really, really well, and I've been impressed with several different aspects. I think that they had kind of some far-looking, far-sight capability with this when they talk about, long-lasting with the additional battery support there. It just 3,500 milliamps is just crazy. I've never seen anything like that in earbuds before. The touch sensitivity is nice. You just tap it once on either side to play or pause. A double tap will skip the track or go to the previous one, and if you tap it 3 times, then you can activate your Google Assistant or Siri based off of whichever device that you're using. So it has everything that it needs to be successful and to be a really good set of solid earphones. And if you just like listening to audiobooks, if you don't like listening to your music loud, then these could be ideal for you. But if you like listening to your music loud, I'd have to say probably you'll want to pass on these. And I think that's probably the dividing line. I'm not saying they're bad, but if you typically only listen to your earphones at like 50 to 70% volume, these might be really good for you. If you are always listening to your earphones at 100% and wishing that you can listen to them loud or louder, then these are not ones that I would say run out and go buy. But for what you get for 50 bucks, the seamless experience, it has great Bluetooth connectivity, the touch sensitivity is great, battery life, I mean the whole 9 yards. And then the sound experience, it's actually pretty good. It's just I wish it was louder. The bass is good. The vocals are good. Even the highs, they register pretty well in some instances as well. So I was impressed with those things. It's just there needs to be more. More oomph behind it, more volume, more power. So that's all I have on my review of the Vankyo Alpha X200s. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. As always, thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like and the subscribe button so you can get access and notifications for the latest and greatest by clicking that notification bell. And thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next time.